Hello everybody! Welcome to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. Pero bakit parang hindi yata accounting lesson yung nakikita natin ngayon? Okay, so medyo pahinga muna tayo sa accounting. For those who are enthusiasts of K-pop, K-drama, and Korean culture, welcome to our travel guide to South Korea. So I allowed some flexibility in the accounting lessons page for today and pahinga muna tayo konti. So, welcome to our travel guide. So for today, we will be talking about some introduction to Korea and then some travel essentials. What do you need to prepare for a travel to Seoul? And then going around Seoul and then mga pagkain sa Korea and then budget. And we will be talking about some Korean phrases that will be helpful for you as travelers in Seoul. Okay, so some pictures and text used in the slides for this video came from online sources and no copyright infringement intended. Thank you very much for all of the sources for the text and the pictures in these slides. Pero most of the pictures here are mine and they will be giving credits to some of the pictures that were obtained online. Thank you very much again. Okay, so South Korea is a country in East Asia. It occupies the southern portion of the Korean peninsula. The country is bordered by the DPRK or the North Korea sa taas, syempre, and then the East Sea to the east, the East China Sea to the south, and the Yellow Sea to the west. Okay? Now, the capital city of South Korea is Seoul. So, ito po kasi yung pinakasikat na tourist destination because when you're talking about Korea, madalas po talaga karamihan is pumupunta po sa Seoul. But actually, there are much more places in Korea na talagang equally wonderful din. But this travel guide will focus on Seoul, South Korea, South Korea's capital city. Okay, so let's discuss the brief history of South Korea and how will we understand the roots of South Korea and Seoul in particular, and how will we relate it to the Korean historical dramas that we see and stuffs like that in the internet. Okay, so at first Korea was divided into tribes, but eventually organized kingdoms emerged. There were three of them, and those three kingdoms are Goguryeo in the north, and Silla and Baekje in the south. According to legend, Silla was founded in 57 BC by Park Hyokgose. Jumong founded Goguryeo in 37 BC, and Onjo founded Baekje in 18 BC. So, parang medyo familiar sa inyo yung Jumong, di ba? Ayan, that was a Korean drama way back. Okay, so actually Korea started as three kingdoms. Meron po tayong tinatawag na three kingdoms of Korea, and yun nga po yung nabanggit, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. And then, so namayagpag po, ang pinaka namayagpag na kingdom is the Kingdom of Silla, which is again founded by Park Hyokgose of Silla, and then the Korean dynasty was ruled by the Gyeongju Kim clan for 586 years, the Miriam Park clan for 232 years, and the Wolsong Sok clan for 172 years. After nearly 1,000 years of rule, Silla fragmented into the brief later three kingdoms of Silla, later Baekje and Taebong, handing over power to Goryeo in 935. So, Korean dramas that represent the kingdom of Silla include This is Leo Won acting as Queen Sondok for the Korean drama Queen Sondok by MBC. And then we have Park Seo-joon and Kim Tae-hyung or V of BTS, and this is the Korean drama Hwarang. Okay, so they represent the kingdom of Silla. Now, after the kingdom of Silla is the kingdom of Goryeo. Goryeo was a Korean kingdom founded in 918 or 918 during a time of national division called the Later Three Kingdoms period that unified and ruled the Korean peninsula until 1392. In 1388, Lee Song-ye was sent to invade the Ming dynasty at Liaodong, but he turned his forces around and defeated Chue Yong in a coup d'etat. In 1392, he replaced Goryeo with a new state of Joseon, bringing an end to the 474 years of Goryeo rule on the Korean peninsula. So, the kingdom of Goryeo is represented by the Korean drama Moon Lovers Scarlet Heart Trio, na alam kong hindi kayo makamove on sa ending at nanghihingi kayo ng part 2, di ba? Okay, so after the Goryeo dynasty, ito yung much of the Korean dramas that we know is set in this dynasty, the Joseon dynasty. So most of the Korean dramas that you know, dito po ang setting niyan. Okay, that the Joseon dynasty spanned for 1392 to 1910. Napakalawak, 'di ba? Napakatagal. Joseon was a Korean dynastic kingdom that lasted for approximately 5 centuries, 500 years. Joseon was founded by Yi Song-gye in July 1392 and was replaced by the Korean Empire in October 1897. The Joseon period has left a substantial legacy to modern Korea. Much of modern Korean culture, etiquette, norms, and societal attitudes towards current issues and the modern Korean language and its dialects derive from the culture and traditions of Joseon. Okay, so the pictures that you see here is Jewel in the Palace or Daejanggum, way back 2003, 2004, and then this is the ano nga bang drama to? Nakalimutan ko yung title. But this is Jin Seon, okay? Ang natatandaan ko sa kanya yung selection, War Between Women, yun ba yung title nito? So, paki-comment naman kung tama ako. Hindi ako prepared, nakalimutan ko yung title ng drama. Sorry naman. Okay, and then dumaan din po kasi ang Korea sa pagkakasakop ng Japanese rule. Okay, so actually medyo same timing with the Philippines within the World War II, di ba? 1910 to 1945. Okay, so the picture that you see there is Son Ye-jin's movie, which is The Last Princess, literally Princess Dokhe. Okay? She is the last princess of Korea. So sa mga hindi pa nakakanood ng movie na yan, I recommend you to watch that very, very wonderful, spectacular movie. Ang ganda niyan, panoorin nyo please. Okay? That was a blockbuster movie in 2016. Nasa Korea ako nung kino-commercial yan. Pero hindi ko naman napanood sa Korea. Dito ko na siya sa Pilipinas sa panood. Apakaganda. Okay? So sana panoorin nyo. And then, syempre, this is now the Korea that we know it today. Okay? So, actually, mahaba pang storya if we will be talking about after the Japanese rule, dumaan pa nga ng Korean War eh. Pero hindi naman history class ng pag-uusapan natin. No, travel guide to. So, this is now the Korea that we know today. The picture on the left side is Myeongdong Shopping Street, and on the right side, that GIF, not GIF ha, that GIF is Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul. And personally, one of my most favorite places in Seoul, I have to admit. Okay, well, most of you, if not all of you, most of you knows South Korea through Hallyu, or the Korean wave. Okay? The Korean wave is the increase in the global popularity of South Korean culture since the 1990s. First driven by the spread of K-dramas and K-pop across East, South, and Southeast Asia during its initial stages, the Korean wave evolved from a regional development into a global phenomenon, carried by the internet and social media and the proliferation of K-pop music videos and YouTube. So I don't think I need to introduce them to you, but to formally introduce them to you, this is Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo for the Korean drama Taehyang Huye, Descendants of the Sun from KBS. And then this on the right is none other than the Korean boy group Bangtansonyondan, BTS. That's Suga, that's V, that's RM, then that's Jimin, Jungkook, Jonghyosok, and Jin. J-Hope, sorry. Kalimutan yung name ni J-Hope. Tama ba, Jonghyosok? Naku, baka mabasya ako ng mga ARMY pag mali yung name. Comment down below kung tama. Okay, thank you po. And sorry po. Okay, so what do I need to prepare before a trip to South Korea? Hindi po kayo pwede basta-basta pumunta ng Korea nang hindi po nagpe-prepare. Okay. Once and for all, kahit may pera or may plane ticket, kayo po muna ay kailangang mag-ayos ng visa. Filipinos who want to enter South Korea as a tourist must secure a visa from the Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Taguig. So, hindi po tayo visa-free entry na pag may passport tayo, we can go there anytime. Okay? So, kailangan po natin mag-ayos ng visa sa Embassy po ng South Korea. Ang South Korean Embassy po, sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, ay nasa Taguig po. Malapit po dun sa Venice, Piazza. Malapit siya doon. Okay? Now, syempre, most of my audience here are students. So, syempre, ang sasabihin ko dito, requirements for students. Ayan. Application form, downloadable po yan sa website ng South Korean Embassy, and then one-piece passport size colored picture. Magpa-picture po ng maayos, wag po yung galing sa Facebook. Okay, and then your original passport that is valid for more than 6 months. Papa-photocopy nyo po yung page na may mukha nyo, and then if you're traveling into OECD member countries and you have visas for those member countries, if applicable, you submit the original and photocopy of them. And then, school certificate or yung registration form nyo. Then, copy po ng school ID and your birth certificate. And then, syempre, kailangan yung patunayan na kaya nyo pong mag-travel sa Korea. Kung wala kayong trabaho, syempre, saan ba kayo hihingi ng funding for your trip? Syempre, sa parents nyo, di ba? So, your parent documents include the certificate of employment of your parents, and then the income tax return of your parents, bank certificate of your parents, bank statement of your parents, and marriage certificate of your parents. Yung may mga tanong po sa visa about sa employees, kasi syempre, I was an employee already when I went to Seoul. So, PM nyo na lang ako. Hindi ko i-discuss dito. Okay? For employees. Okay. So, apply for a visa only through accredited travel agencies designated by the Korean Embassy. Walk-in applications in the embassy are not allowed anymore. Dati po kasi, mag-a-apply ka ng visa diretso sa embassy. But with the influx of tourists wanting to go to Korea, applications in the embassy is masyado ng matao, masyado ng marami. So, ang ginawa po ng South Korean Embassy, para hindi na rin po tayo nahihirapan pupunta sa embassy, is they designated accredited travel agencies kung saan po natin idadaan yung visa. Actually, yung visa naman po for 0 to 59 days na stay is mura lang. Sorry. For 0 to 59 days stay, libre po siya. Pero, syempre, kailangan po natin bayaran yung services nung travel agency. Pero at least si travel agency na bahala mag-ayos po nung visa application mo, and then bibigay na lang sa'yo yung passport mo. Syempre, hopefully, may visa. Okay? And then, pag meron po kayong visa, pwede na po kayo mamili ng airline na gusto nyo. Choose from the following. So, Cebu Pacific, AirAsia, Philippine Airlines, Korean Air, Jeju Air, Asiana Airlines. Kung meron pa akong di nabanggit, comment down below. Ayan. So, pero madalas kung i-book is AirAsia. Yeah. Okay. So, this was my booking in AirAsia in 2019. When I went there for 7 wonderful days. Ayan. And then, where shall I stay? Pagdating ko po sa Korea, pwede po kayong mamili kung medyo pricey na hotel at medyo may budget naman kayo, go for a hotel. Pero dun sa mga medyo nagbabudget ng pera at hindi naman po na hindi nasa hotel, you can stay at a guest house, or yung tinatawag po nating hostel. Actually, ang guest house is a cheaper option, lalo na if just to become practical, kasi sa totoo lang naman, magagala naman kayo buong araw tutulugan nyo lang naman. So, parang, diba, parang why stay in a luxury hotel when you can stay in a guest house, which is equally, equally okay. Okay, so marami po kayong makikita niyan sa internet. You can use booking.com to book for your accommodations. That's perfectly fine. Okay, and then you please choose the appropriate clothes for the season. Hindi po kayo pwedeng basta-basta kung ano yung damit nyo sa Pilipinas ay dadalhin nyo sa Korea. Idedepende nyo po kung kailan kayo pupunta. So, South Korea enjoys 4 seasons, which is spring, summer, autumn, and winter. 'Di ba? Kaya nga may Korean drama na 4 na season, 'di ba? Spring Waltz, Summer Scent, Autumn in My Heart, tsaka Winter Sonata. Kasi nga 4 seasons sila. Yun, okay? Ang sabi nila pero ako kasi experience ko din naman talaga. The best time to go to Korea is every April, which is spring, okay? But if you want to experience summer or autumn, nakapunta na rin kasi ako sa Korea ng autumn. It's equally wonderful sa spring. Parang ganon. Parang pareho lang sila. And then, kung gusto nyo naman maka-experience ng snow, edi pumunta kayo ng winter. Okay? So, pag spring, ayan, medyo may patong sa t-shirt. Summer, kung paano tayo mag-summer sa Pilipinas, ganun summer sa Korea. Mainit din talaga. And then, autumn, halos parang spring din. Then, magmamakapal na kayong suot pag winter. Okay, so kapag ka po prepared na lahat at may visa na kayo, may isusuot na kayo, naka-impake na kayo, at ready nang lumipad at nakarating na ng Korea, then it's time to go around. So how do I explore Seoul? Okay, so galing po ng Incheon International Airport, kung saan po kayo lalapag, ay 45 minutes to 1 hour pa po siya na travel to the main capital city, which is Seoul. Ang pwede nyo pong pagpilian is number 1, the airport limousine bus. Pag sinabi pong airport limousine bus, yung bus na yan ay bibili ka lang ng ticket sa labas ng Incheon Airport, and then dadaling ka na niya sa Seoul. Mayroon siyang iba-ibang stops. And usually, yung mga stops ng airport limousine bus is sa mga hotel. Kung di man sa hotel, sa mga touristy areas. Okay? Pwede rin po kayo mag-AirX train. Ano po yung AirX train? Ang AirX train po ay tren, syempre, from Incheon International Airport to Seoul City. Meron po tayong dalawang uri ng AirX train. AirX all-stop train at saka AirX na express train. Pag express train, dire-diretso from Incheon Airport to Seoul, walang stop. As in dire-diretso, 45 minutes. Pero kapag ka naman po all-stop train, so para lang siyang train na normal na iba-ibang stops po yung kanyang hihintuan hanggang makarating kayo sa Seoul. So, yung picture po na airport limousine bus ay picture ko yan, and then special thanks to Klook for the picture ng AirX train. Kung medyo may budget, pwede po tayong mag-taxi, pero medyo mahal kasi, no? Pero pwede naman, no? Pahatid na kayo sa taxi diretso sa hotel nyo. So, ang gagawin nyo lang is you just write the name of your hotel in English, but if you can write it in Korean, why not? Okay? Para mas maintindihan ng driver, then dadalhin niya na kayo sa destination nyo. Or, pwede rin kayo magpa-arrange private transfer. Sana all. Ano yung arrange private transfer? Yung hotel nyo ay kung meron silang available na service na ganito, papasundo kayo sa hotel nyo. O, diba social? Sana all. Ang natry ko na dyan is yung express train, yung all-stop train, at saka yung airport limousine bus. Hindi pa po ako nag-try mag-taxi from airport to Seoul kasi mahal. Pero nakapag-taxi na ako sa Korea ng around the vicinity. Okay. And then when you are already in Seoul, edi welcome. Ayan, that's the Chongmoro neighborhood. Diyan po ako tumitira kapag ka nasa Seoul po ako. Okay. Just a little information. Chongmoro is parang the Korean Hollywood, no? Korean Hollywood 'yan, yung mga filmmaking mga filmmaking offices. Sa Chongmoro sila halos lahat nag-start. So, ayun, para siyang Hollywood ng Korea. Okay, so how to go around Seoul? Nasa Seoul ka na. Congratulations. Pero, how do you go around Seoul? Okay, South Korea, particularly Seoul, boasts a very wonderful subway system called the Seoul Metro. Seoul Metro. Okay? Seoul Metro. Meron po silang subway na napakagandang system. Naku, sa totoo nga lang po, kapag ka po nasa Korea, ako naiinggit ako. Kasi sana ang Pilipinas meron din pong ganitong magandang transportation system. Okay, so how does it work? Kapag ka po kayo lumalakad sa streets ng Seoul at nakakita po kayo ng ganitong itsura, yan po ang subway entrance. Okay, so as you can see, nakalagay po number 5, tapos Yoido. Pag sinabing 5, ibig sabihin that is exit number 5. Kasi iba-ibang exit number po yan. Exit 1, exit 2, exit 3, exit 4, ganon. Okay, depende sa lokasyon ng pupuntahan mo. And then, Yoido, yan po yung name ng station. Okay, so ibig sabihin niya, ang ibig sabihin po niyan, Yoido Station, exit 5. Yun po yun. So, pag nakabasa po kayo ng mga travel guide na Korean, tapos may mga nakalagay po na Gyeongbokgung Station exit 2, Angguk Station exit 1, yun po yung ibig sabihin ng mga numbers na yun. Okay? And then, pagbaba nyo po ng subway, syempre subway sa ilalim yan, yan naman po yung itsura ng subway station. Okay? So, may mga train doors na po siya apart from the doors ng mismong tren. Okay? So, nakasara po yung doors na yan pag wala pang tren. And then, ganito po yung itsura ng mismong subway train sa Seoul Metro. Okay, so let me present to you the T-Money card. Pag sinabi pong T-Money card, equivalent po ng parang beep card sa atin sa Pilipinas. Alam niyo yung beep card, di ba? Okay, so ganun lang din po yan. Loloadan nyo po siya. Tapos, itatap nyo po siya doon sa turnstile. And then, pag lalabas ka na uli ng subway, ay itatap mo uli siya. So, parang it works like a beep card. So, nababawasan yung load mo upon every enter and exit. Pero hindi lang po siya sa subway ginagamit. The T-Money card is pwede po siya sa subway, pwede po siya sa bus, minsan sa grocery pwede. Okay? And then karamihan po na establishments tumatanggap ng reloading ng T-Money card like groceries or yung mismong reloading stations sa subway, meron po doon. Okay, this is the subway map. Ito po ang ilalim ng Seoul. O, di ba? Ayan. The Seoul Metropolitan Subway has numerous subway lines below. Those who have already traveled to Hong Kong or to Japan, it works the same way. Okay? Iba-ibang lines, iba-ibang transfer stations, and let me teach you how to use this. Okay. Let's say, for example, you are coming from Nokbon Station and you want to go to Angguk Station. Nokbon is 323 and Angguk is 328. Both are in the orange line. So, no problem. You start with Nokbon and then Hongdae, Muakdae, Dongnimun, Gyeongbokgung, and there you are in Angguk. That's it. However, what if, let's say, for example, Hwaeyeon to Yaksu. Hwaeyeon is 425, but Yaksu is yung 3 na nasa orange. Okay. Hwaeyeon is on blue, this one, but Yaksu is orange. So, ang mangyayari po dyan is magkakaroon ka ng transfer. Okay, so, Hwaeyeon, and then Myeongdong, and then transfer ka ng Chungmuro, kasi yung Chungmuro ay common station ng blue tsaka ng orange line. So, sa Chungmuro, bababa ka dun sa tren na blue line and then magsa-transfer ka sa orange line with no additional fee. Tapos, pag nasa train ka na ng orange line, punta ka na ng Dongguk University until you get to your destination. Okay? So, marami pang example na mga mas complicated dyan. Pero, meron naman pong app yan sa cellphone. Hindi nyo po kailangan kabisaduhin. Okay? Meron pong subway map na application sa phone kapag po kayong pumunta ng Korea. Okay, going around Seoul, meron din pong bus, meron pong red buses, green buses, blue buses, and yellow buses. Pag-uusapan po natin yung difference ng 4 na bus na yan later. Okay, so pag nakakita po kayo ng ganyan, yan po yung bus stop. Tapos, kunyari, bus number 7017 will arrive in 6 minutes. Okay, Yukpun. Okay, Yukpun. And then, bus number 704 is 10 minutes. Shippun. Okay, and then 7022, 4 minutes. Ayan, so ganun siya. Ano lang yan, bus information. Okay, tapos ayan, sa mga bus stops makakakita kayo ng ganyan, yan po yung ruta ng bus. Ngayon, I suggest kasi sa akin mas naging madali na magbasa ng mga ganitong bus stop kasi marunong po ako magbasa ng Korean. So, it's not a problem for me to use the bus because I can read. But in case you cannot read, I suggest you download po yung Naver map na application sa phone. It could help you navigate Seoul ng nakabus and then gamit yung app na yon. And I usually use that as well kahit naman nakakabasa ako because it's also helpful. Okay? So, yung mga blue bus po ay umiikot within Seoul for long distances. From one district to another. So, I want to go from Gangnam to Jongno area. Magbo-blue bus ako. Okay? Pag green bus naman, transportation between blue bus stops and subway station stops which are parallel with subways in some areas. So, mas maiikli siya na ruta na paikot-ikot lang. Para mga shuttle bus lang. Ganon. Okay? Yellow bus circulates in downtown Seoul. Okay? Yun talagang pinaka-high area. May mga yellow bus doon. And then, in case naman you need to go outside Seoul, you will be riding a red bus or yung Intercity Express Transit Bus. Ayun po. So, at least you're guided kung ano yung dapat yung sakyan na bus when you're going around in Seoul. Okay, so let's talk about some places to visit in Seoul. Again, thank you to Vector Stock for that wonderful Seoul map. Okay, so this is Deoksugung Palace. Located po siya malapit po sa City Hall. City Hall Station exit number 2 or exit number 3. That is me with the Sokjojon Hall of Deoksugung Palace. And then tawid ka lang sa kabila, nandun naman po yung Seoul Plaza. Yan po yung Seoul Metropolitan Library. Nandyan din po yung City Hall. And then, ito naman po yung Myeongdong Shopping Street. So, very popular po ang Myeongdong Shopping Street. Sa mga babae, very popular yan sa cosmetics eh. So, that's a haven of cosmetics. And syempre, if you're not into Myeongdong for shopping, then you can at least try their street foods. Okay? So, yung mga picture po sa taas, yan po yung egg bread, and then dakkangjong or sweet and spicy chicken, and yan po yung Korean ice cream available in Myeongdong. But if you're not in Myeongdong to eat, then you can go shopping. Okay, and then if you really want to go shopping at a cheaper price, then you go to Namdaemun Market. Mukha po siyang parang, I can say, equivalent po ng Divisoria sa atin. Okay? Seoul's Divisoria. That's Namdaemun Market. Kasi you can see their mga cheaper finds na hindi yata branded nga yung iba dyan. Ewan ko lang. Pero, mas mura talaga siya. So, Namdaemun Market is the Divisoria of Seoul. And then, we have Sunyamun Gate near Namdaemun Market. Okay. Gate po yan kasi nga dati ang ang Seoul po ay napapaligiran ng mga wall. Tas yan po yung gate doon. Okay, and then isang bus from Chungmuro Station is you can go to Seoul Tower. Very popular po yung Seoul Tower. Napalabas po yan, I think, sa Boys Over Flowers. If you know the Korean drama Boys Over Flowers. So, yan po. Seoul Tower. Diyan po yung may mga love locks. Yung mga puntahan ng jowa. Tapos maglalagay sila ng mga lock nila doon. Yun. So, nag-break na sila yung lock nila nandun pa din. Okay, and then this is also Seoul Station, Culture Station Seoul 284. Dati po yan ay train station na naging culture station na siya ngayon. Okay? So, ano na siya? Hindi na siya ginagamit ngayon kasi meron ng mas bagong Seoul Station talaga. Thank you very much to visitseoul.net for the picture. Okay, and then ito po is if you're into Korean historical dramas, then one of the places that you need to visit is yung pinakamaganda at pinakamalaking palace nila, which is Gyeongbokgung Palace, the beautiful palace of old royalty. Okay, it houses both the National Folk Museum of Korea and the National Palace Museum of Korea. And then, lakad ka lang sa labas is the Gwanghwamun Square. Okay. So, ito pong nakikita nyo is yung statue ni King Sejong. Si King Sejong po ay isa sa mga naging hari ng Joseon Dynasty. And just a trivia, siya po ang gumawa ng Korean alphabet as we know it today. So, invented alphabet lang po ang Korean alphabet, yung Hangul. So, yung mga nag-aaral ng Korean language dyan, yung mga sinusulat nyong Korean letters ay invented lang po ng isang hari. Okay? And then, yung mga nasa harap na, ang tawag dito, yung mga invention niya yan noong time na yon. Okay. And then, this is the building of the National Museum of Korean Contemporary History. Korea's modern history po yan. So, mga after the Korean War na. Yung mga ganong setup until the modernity of Korean history. Again, thank you. Again, thank you to visitseoul.net for the photo. Okay, and then if you are into something traditional, but or you want to grab some souvenirs that are traditional, and then you can go here at Insadong Street. Okay, the picture that you see here is Samsikil. This is Samsikil. Wala yung mga hagdan niya nasa gilid lang, pero pag dinire-diretso mong lakad yan hanggang makaakit ka ng taas, ano siya, dire-diretso lang siya paikot. Nagets nyo ba yung sinabi ko? Panoorin nyo na lang ibang vlog tungkol dyan para mag-gets nyo yung sinabi ko. Okay, so in Insadong, you can also eat at Miss Lee's Doshirak Cafe. Pag sinabi pong Doshirak, lunchbox. Okay, so yan po yung sinasabing Doshirak or lunchbox. Merong meatloaf, may itlog, may kimchi, may anong tawag dito? Seaweed. And then may seaweed soup at saka konting pa dessert. Yung rice, parang ano yan, ampaw ba tawag dyan sa atin? Ampaw na kinakain na, hindi yung ampaw na pulang envelope. And then, nag-order kasi ako ng yogurt smoothie. Ayan. Inaalog po yan. So, yung ibang vlog ng tungkol sa Miss Lee's Doshera Cafe, panoorin nyo para malaman nyo kung paano siya kinakain. Okay, and then another palace that you need to visit is Changdeokgung Palace. Meron po siyang secret garden. Yun nga lang po yung secret garden is pinapareserve po siya. So you just need to visit the website of Changdeokgung Palace for you to visit also the secret garden. Kasi yung secret garden tour po ay guided tour po siya. Hindi po siya pwede nang basta-basta lang kayong papasok sa secret garden. And then, just within Changdeokgung is Changgyeonggung Palace. Yan, di palasyo din. Okay. And then, this is Bokchon Hanok Village. This is not my shot. I just got this online. Pero nakakita ko na, nakapunta ako dyan. So, ano po siya, yung mga old traditional houses ay, actually, may mga nakatira po dyan. And those are old traditional houses sa Seoul na na-preserve nila. Pag pupunta nga lang po kayo dyan sa Bokchon Hanok Village is kailangan po tahimik kayo kasi nga po residential area siya. So hindi po dapat tayo maingay dahil residential area siya. Pero very very wonderful. Kung napanood nyo po yung sitcom na High Kick Part 2, I think na nagkaroon ng time na may shot sila dito if I remember it clearly. Okay, and then Dongdaemun area naman po, Dongdaemun Station Exit 7 is you can see the Hongin-Jimon Gate. Parang pong yung Songyemun Gate kanina. Yan po yun. Kasi nga po napapalibutan dati ang Seoul ng mga city wall. So yan po yung yung gate na yon. And then this is Dongdaemun Design Plaza, which was just opened around I'm not sure if 2012 or 2014, pero bago lang yan eh. Okay, so that's me and the LED flowers. You can go there at Dongdaemun History and Culture Park Station, Green Line Exit 1 or Exit 2. Ayun po. And then, somewhere near Dongdaemun area is Gwangjang Market. Yung Gwangjang Market po, dyan po kayo maraming makakain na Korean traditional food. So, fish cake po yan, tsaka japchae. Ang sarap. Kasi, yan talaga yung talagang hinalo sa kamay ng isang lolang Korean sa harap mo. Hinalo siya ng talagang hinalo sa harap mo. Masarap kasi very legit and authentic yung lasa. And then, this is Iwa Women's University. Yes po, school po yan. That's the wonderful facade of Iwa Women's University. Ang ganda, di ba? Ayan. And then, paglabas mo ng Iwa Women's University, meron parang mga shops. Usually, mag-e-enjoy dyan babae. Mga cosmetic shops, mga ganon. Okay? Kaya ang tawag is Iwa Women's University Street you want to visit. Ayan. And then, you can also visit Sinchon, pedestrian-friendly street. Pwede rin po kayo dyan mag-shopping or lakad-lakad lang. Ako minsan madalas ginagawa ko sa Korea, wala naman akong ganun pang shopping. So, yung mismong paglalakad lang sa Seoul, nakaka-enjoy na eh. And then, if you want to visit a university, then you can also go to Yonsei University. Okay, and then in the Incheon area is the National Hangul Museum and the National Museum of Korea. And then sa mga K-pop enthusiasts po, pwede po tayong pumunta sa Apgujeong Rodeo K-Star Road. Yan po yung mga Gangnam Doll. Yung nakikita niyo po sa left is the BTS Gangnam Doll. So yung iba-iba pong mga K-pop groups, meron pong ganyan na naka-erect po doon. So if you're a K-pop enthusiast, then I suggest you go here po sa Gangnam area, particularly in K-Star Road. And for other information, you may visit www.english.visitseoul.net. And you can, kasi iba-iba rin po yung tourist guide na available dyan sa website na yan. Meron general lang. Ako hindi man kasi ako gano'ng ma-K-pop. I'm more on Korean culture. So, sapat na sa akin yung tourist guide na general lang. Pero kayo pong mga into K-pop or K-drama, meron pong mga themed tourist guides that you can select in this website. Okay, so ayan po, katulad yan, yan po yung example, Hallyu Tourist Guide. So if you're into BTS or any other K-pop group, so medyo themed yung inyo pong travel guide na makikita dyan sa website na yan. Okay, so let's talk about and let me show you some foods in Seoul. So we have here KFC Korea. Walang kanin sa KFC Korea. Tsaka hindi po siya gravy. Sweet chili sauce po siya. Or ketchup. Pero yung ketchup para sa ano yun? Sa fries. Wala siyang kanin. Walang kanin yung KFC Korea doon. Okay, and then this is bibimbap. Ayan, di ba? Nakakakain na naman kayo niyan dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Pero iba pa rin talaga yung lasa ng legit na sa Korea mo siya kinain. Convenience store lunchbox, doshirak. Sa mga convenience store po nila, makakabili ka ng ganito. Yan, convenience store lunchbox. Marami na pong nagmumukbang ng ganyan. I need to say hi to Miss Kring Elenzano Kim for her mukbangs in convenience store. Yung kasama niya si Loves Tina. So hello po Miss Kring. If you come across this, I'm watching your videos as well. And then hot bar. Ayan. So sausage na may kasamang fish. Fish cake. Sausage na may kasamang rice cake. Tapos papahiran ng either mustard and ketchup o di po kaya yung gochujang na sauce or spicy sauce. Ganun. And then chicken skewers. Manok. And then CBTL Korea. Coffee bean and tea leaf. And then, Tongin Market Lunchbox. So, malapit po sa Gyeongbokgung Palace, meron po doon na tinatawag natin Tongin Market. Yung Tongin Market po, bibili ka po ng mga old brass coins. Yung mga old brass coins po na yun, yung ipambabayad mo sa mga pagkain. So, para kang buffet, pero babayaran mo siya isa-isa hanggang sa makabuo ka ng lunchbox na ganyan. Pwede kang umorder ng kanin, pwedeng hindi, pwedeng ulam lang, pwedeng... Ako, nung una nagkakanin pa ako, pero nung natutunan kong hindi na magkanin pag nagtutongin market, yan yung right side kung tongin market. Pero masarap kasi legit talaga yung lasa. Korean. Very, very Korean. And then this is kimbap. Yan, nakakakain na rin kayo niyan dito sa Pilipinas eh, di ba? Okay, and then fish cake, odeng. Sarap yung soup. And then eating in a convenience store. Yan yung madalas natin nakikita sa mga Korean drama, di ba? Yung kumakain sila sa mga table na available sa labas ng convenience store. So, isa po yan sa mga may experience nyo sa Korea. Japchae. Yan, na hinalo talaga sa harap mo. Talagang legit yung lasa. Sarap. And then Holly's Coffee. If you know Descendants of the Sun, if I remember it correctly, di ba nagko-coffee sila dyan sa Holly's Coffee. And then ito po yung kanina, yung Miss Lee's Doshira Cafe. And then egg bread, keranpang. Ito po yung makikita madalas sa Myeongdong Shopping Street. And then dakkangjong, sweet and spicy chicken. Pero sa Myeongdong po kasi hindi yan ganong maanghang. Siguro po to cater the taste buds po ng tourist. Hindi siya ganong maanghang pag nasa Myeongdong kayo. Pero ano yan, nakakap lang po yung chicken. Tapos habang lumalakad ka, hindi kumain ka ng chicken. Okay, vanilla ice cream with honey on top. And the honey melts in your mouth. And then breakfast toast. If nakanood na po kayo ng ibang vlog na gumagawa ng Korean street toast, yan. Binebreakfast ko yan sa Korea. Okay, so ito pong budget na to that I prepared is for 7 days and 6 nights in Seoul. May mga nababasa na po kayo online na 15,000 lang for 5 days in Seoul. Totoo naman po yun. Pero ipapakita ko sa inyong budget is hindi po to piso fare kasi. Tsaka hindi po siya tipid version. Meron po siyang allowance for souvenir. Kaya po, umabot po siya ng 40,000. Okay, pero non-tipid version po kasi to. Kung gusto mo mag-enjoy ng meron kang bibiling K-pop albums or other souvenirs, magre-rent ka ng handbook. Ayan. Tsaka hindi po to kasi piso fare, kaya medyo mahal po talaga siya. So, usually po kasi ang round trip ng airfare is 14,000. Ewan ko lang po ngayon, pag bumalik na tayo sa normal after the pandemic, baka mas mahal ng airfare. I just don't know. Pero dati po kasi ang round trip airfare, Manila, Incheon, Manila is 14,000. You can rent an accommodation for 7,000 pesos for 6 nights. And then, kailangan nyo po ng pocket wifi if you want to stay connected. 2,000 pesos po siya for 7 days. And then, airport limousine bus going from Incheon Airport to Seoul is 682 pesos. And then, magbabudget po kayo for subway and bus around Seoul. Kahit mga 2 to 3,000 pesos po. Food, actually medyo mura pa tong food na to pero pwede nyo yung dagdagan. Meron po tayong tinatawag na integrated palace ticket. So lahat po ng palasyo pwede nyo mapuntahan dyan sa isang ticket lang. Okay? And it's worth around 500 pesos. Maglaan ka po ng 1,300 sa street foods pero alam kong kulang yan lalo na dun sa mga gusto talagang matry yung karamihan ng street foods sa Myeongdong, dagdagan nyo yan kasi kulang yan, 1,300 na yan. And then maglaan ka ng budget if you want to buy souvenirs, pasalubong, or if you're a K-pop or K-drama enthusiast, then sa mga albums or sa OSTs po, maglaan po kayo ng budget for that. And syempre, if you want to experience the fullest of Korean culture, you can rent a hanbok for around mga 1,300 pesos for the whole day na po yan. So, for a total of 40,000 pesos for 7 days. Okay, so let us learn some Korean phrases that will be helpful for you in your travel to Korea. Okay, the basic phrase that we all know is saying hello in Korea, which is 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. And then if you want to say nice to meet you to the person you've just met, you can say 반갑습니다. 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 And then if you want to introduce yourself, so the line there represents your name. So I'll be using Kevin to say this. 제 이름은 케빈입니다. 제 이름은 케빈입니다. 제 이름은 케빈입니다. So that means my name is Kevin. 제 이름은 케빈입니다. And then this one is, you know this already. Thank you. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. or you can also say 고맙습니다 or 고마워 or 고마워요. So, sa mga nanonood naman ng Korean drama, medyo familiar na to sa inyo. And then, excuse me is 실례합니다. 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 Ayan, kung gusto nyo dumaan at medyo may nakaharang, ayan, you say excuse. 실례합니다. Okay? And then, I'm sorry, 미안합니다. 미안합니다. Or 미안해, 미안해요. Yan yon, okay? And then, I lost my way. 길을 잃었어요. 길을 잃었어요. 길을 잃었어요. Okay, may nagsasalita, hindi mo naintindihan. I don't understand. 잘 모르겠네요. 잘 모르겠네요. 잘 모르겠네요. I don't speak Korean well. May kumausap sa inyo, hindi nyo alam sagutin kasi you don't speak Korean so well. So, you just need to say, 한국말 잘 못해요. 한국말 잘 못해요. 한국말 잘 못해요. Okay, if you want to ask the person if they can speak English, do you speak English? 영어 할 수 있어요? 영어 할 수 있어요? 영어 할 수 있어요? And then, kung medyo nakakaintindi ka naman ng Korean, pero parang feeling mo, ang bilis siya magsalita, you can say this to them. 천천히 말씀해주세요. 천천히 말씀해주세요. 천천히 말씀해주세요. Okay, so naiihi ka na. Hindi mo mahanap yung CR. Okay, so when you say 화장실, it means comfort room. 화장실. So, 화장실이 어디예요? 화장실이 어디예요? 화장실이 어디예요? And then, may gusto kang bilhin, hindi mo alam kung magkano, you can ask the tindera, how much? 얼마예요? 아줌마, 얼마예요? Kunyari si 아줌마 yung bibilan mo, di ba? 아줌마, 얼마예요? 아줌마, 얼마예요? And then, help. You need help. 도와주세요. 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 It hurts here. 여기가 아파요. Tapos ituturo ng kamay mo kung saan masakit. Okay? 여기가 아파요. So kung masakit yung puso mo, lagay mo yung kamay mo sa puso mo, tapos sabihin mo, 여기가 아파요. 여기가 아파요. O kung masakit yung ulo mo, lagay mo yung kamay mo sa ulo mo, tapos 여기가 아파요. It hurts here. 진짜? Or 정말? Ayan. Really? Pero ngayon kasi sa Korea, lalo na sa younger generations, ginagamit na nila yung English. Real? 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 For real. Ibig sabihin for real. Pero if you want to stick with the Korean one, then you say 진짜. 진짜요? 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 It's fun. 재밌어요. 재밌어요. Okay, let's try to introduce ourselves in Korean. So, I will speak or I will say this first and then I'll tell you what it means. Okay? So, 안녕하세요. 저는 케빈입니다. 마닐라에서 왔어요. PUP에서 공부해요. 반갑습니다. What I've told you is I introduce my name and then where do I live or my location, which is Manila. Actually, I'm from Malabon, but let's just use the general one, Manila. And then my school, for example, PUP. I'm a graduate of PUP, so my school, and then 반갑습니다, which means nice to meet you. So you just put your name, your location, where do you live, and your school. So 안녕하세요. So greeting muna, and then 저는 케빈입니다. So your name. If your name is Frances, then you say 저는 프란세스입니다. If your name is Jet, then you say 저는 지tet입니다. Okay? If your name is Twain, then you say 저는 Twain입니다. Okay, and then you say your location. If you're living in Manila, you say 마닐라에서 왔어요. 마닐라에서 왔어요. If you're from Valenzuela, then you say Valenzuela에서 왔어요. If you're from Cebu, then you say Cebu에서 왔어요. Then your school, then 에서 공부해요. 공부해요 means study. I'm studying. Okay? So if you're from Lasal, Lasal에서 공부해요. If you're from UP, you say UP에서 공부해요. Or Philippine 대학교. University of the Philippines, Philippine 대학교. Okay? Then 반갑습니다 or nice to meet you. So again, I'll be introducing myself. 안녕하세요. 저는 케빈입니다. 마닐라에서 왔어요. PUP에서 공부해요. 반갑습니다. Or pwede ring 잘 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다. Okay? So that has been our travel guide to South Korea. And as always, maraming salamat po. 감사합니다. Thank you and have a great day.